Welcome back to Senior Seminar. I'm your host, Devin Young. This week's guest in studio is Daniel Joseph Allen. Daniel is a native of Indianapolis, Indiana, a brother of Lambda Chi and a bio major. You know, life is full of journeys, and some, whether expected or unexpected, have to come to an end. And when one of Daniel's journeys came to an abrupt end, another began as a leader and also a man who changes lives. So could you tell us about your neck injury and how lingering it was?
Yeah, last year, first game of the year, I started getting small symptoms, nothing too big, just stingers of what, or at least that's what I thought, pinched nerve, something like that. And then the following week versus Ohio Wesleyan, halftime, on kickoff, actually the same play, Kyle Bottas tore his ACL. I came off the field with my arms hanging down at my side, feeling like they had sandbags hanging from them, pretty numb. And that had been the worst stinger to that point, or at least what I thought to be a stinger at that point so far. And so following the game, after we finished it up, practice the next week. I didn't really practice a whole lot, just trying to rest it to hopefully get it better. We had Chicago that weekend, so I went and dressed for Chicago, depending on how I'd feel. I wasn't really sure. Ended up not playing just because it was pretty painful, I guess. Played one play, and in that one play on punt, ran down the field, barely got hit, and arms numb like that, numb for like 5 minutes. So it was definitely something, there was definitely something wrong beyond a stinger. And I started figuring that out pretty quickly. And then that following week, Wednesday night, probably, I woke up in the middle of the night to my arms hanging down on my side, my bed just completely numb. So the first thing I did was I lifted my head up and lifted my legs up to make sure that I could still move everything. And luckily I could. And it ended up just being that it was my arms that were numb. It was still really scary because it lasted for probably about 5 minutes laying there. So immediately after that, the next day I went and saw the trainers who already knew that something was going on. And we ended up scheduling a doctor's visit to the neurologist. And I went and got like a test done, check for nerve damage, and I got a MRI done to check in my neck. And it ended up finding out that I have 2 torn discs, a herniated disc, and 5 pinched nerves in my back. So that was devastating news. And I knew that football was coming to an end at that point.
What was it like to give up football?
It was completely devastating. Something that you invest so much of your life into, so much time, so many hours, so much sweat and work, just to see it taken from you like that. You know, there's a difference when you decide to quit something or end something and you know that the time is coming. But when something is taken from you like this, it's a shocker, and it still pains me every day. I struggle to watch a full football game at Wabash College, to watch practice, but there's nothing you can do about it at this point, and I just have to take it and run, and realize that everything does happen for a reason. And at that time, I didn't understand what the reason was, but as time has moved on, I've slowly found the reasons why.
Can you tell me some of the new roles that you acquired after your football career was over?
Yeah, after football was over, I obviously had a lot more time. And following the football season, it was time for elections in the House. I live in Lambda Chi. And I'd never held a Zeta position. It was like our executive board. Up to that point, I'd never held a large role in the House. I've always been a leader, but never really large roles. So I ended up going up to Chris Widup and asking him, trying to convince him to run for president. Because we have a small senior class, a lot of guys have transferred and live out of the House. So I tried to talk him into doing it, and he ended up turning the story on me and convincing me to run for it, or at least what I thought at the time I was seriously considering. And so I went back to my room, and my roommate at the time was the current president, and then my other roommate was the president before him. I told him, I was like, hey, I think I might run for president. I was like, it might be a good role for me, We got a small senior class, I'm just gonna go for it. He goes, man, yeah, I don't know, Dan. He's like, you're already busy enough. He's like, I don't know if you want all this responsibility. And me being the competitor I am, I took that and said, well, you know what, actually, I think I am gonna run for it. So I went for it, and I knew that a lot of guys in the house liked me. I don't pick sides in the house. I've got a good relationship with everyone, and I ended up getting it, and it's been a blessing ever since. It's definitely a really great role, being able to be the decision maker for 58 guys in the house, and to have their best interest in mind to lead such a great house as Land McKay. And another role that I also acquired during the time was I became president of FIMRC, which is Foundation for International Medical Relief of Children. It's a foundation based out of Pennsylvania, and they have 9 different clinics throughout the world. And these clinics, they're in rural areas. They do is they send volunteers down there to the different places and volunteer at the medical clinics. And as president of the club, I helped set up a trip to El Salvador last year where we took, I believe it was 8 guys. And then right now we've already booked our trip to the Dominican Republic this coming spring break, where we have 11 guys going. So it's definitely been a great opportunity, and something I've been very thankful for.
What will you take from your time here at Wabash? What has these 4 years done for you?
Wabash has definitely humbled me. It has made me count my blessings every day, which is especially from the trips I've been able to go on. I've been to Africa, Nicaragua, Peru, El Salvador, and then I'll be heading to the Dominican Republic over spring break. So it's definitely taught me to count my blessings and be thankful every day for the opportunities that I've been able to take advantage of. And then at the same time, it's taught me to grow up. I came in as a naive graduate out of high school, being big dog on campus in high school, and then coming in and realizing Wabash isn't anything easy. It punches you in the face, and it's a nice wake-up call to reality, but it's a beautiful thing, and people don't understand it, outside viewers, but I wish they could, because it's definitely been a growing up process. It's made me the man that I am today, and it makes me excited to tell people about Wabash, because it's definitely something special.
For Daniel, Wabash has been a metamorphosis, because he has learned in life it's not what happens to you, but how you respond. Thank you for joining us in Senior Seminar, and be sure to stay tuned next semester. Have a great winter break, everybody.
Da, 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 da.